Kenta Tanaka, 28, thought he'd buried high school forever. Then the conference room door opened, and his past walked in. The new department head stepped in, her platinum silver ponytail gleaming under the fluorescent lights, a smirk playing on her lips. She surveyed the room with ice blue eyes, and when they landed on Kenta, something chilling flickered.
Good morning. I am Misaki Shindo, your new department head, but I am sure some of you already know me. Especially you, Kenta.
Kenta felt the floor drop. His carefully built composure shattered like glass.
Remember me?
I am 17 again, on my knees in the courtyard, surrounded by laughter and her ice-cold stare.
I followed your career closely, Kenta. You've done adequately. I expect far better here.
The room was silent, the air thick with tension. Everyone sensed that this was only the beginning of something dangerous. The words hung in the air, then pulled him back. 10 years into the past, cherry blossoms fell on the high school courtyard. 17-year-old Kenta stood, letter trembling, before the most feared girl in school.
You only like my face. You don't actually know me. I wouldn't date someone so shallow.
Her laugh cut through him, and soon the whole yard was laughing. His world collapsed in a single public moment. The memory snapped. Back in the conference room, Misaki's voice was ice.
Kenta, you are taking over the Phoenix Project. Effective immediately.
A stifled gasp. Everyone knew. The Phoenix Project was a 3-time failure. No one wanted it.
This is revenge. She's burying me right where everyone can watch.
The room filled with quiet shock. Colleagues exchanged dark glances.
Don't disappoint me.
For a week, Kenta buried himself in the dead project, sleeping at his desk, fueled by coffee and desperation.
If I can just make this work, she'll see I am not that pathetic kid anymore.
He submitted a proposal thick with standard market analysis and cautious projections no one would challenge.
Lazy. You recycled the same safe ideas that tanked this project 3 times. Did you even read the market data?
She's annihilating me in front of everyone. The courtyard all over again.
A junior associate couldn't suppress a laugh. The room became a frozen lake of judgment.
If this is your ceiling, Kenta, I'd suggest you consider a different profession.
I am going to lose my career, my dignity, everything.
He stumbled back to his cubicle, collapsed into the chair, and stared at an empty screen.
I can't survive her. Maybe it's time to hand in my resignation.
That night, Kenta couldn't sleep. Misaki's criticisms echoed in his skull like a mantra designed to break him.
Every single point she made was about usage patterns of women in their 40s and 50s. Not once did she mention anything else.
He pulled raw market data at 3 in the morning, digging through demographics most companies ignored.
No one else saw this gap. Middle-aged women are the biggest buyers, but every product treats them like an afterthought.
A wild idea formed. Her cruelty hadn't been arbitrary. Every rejection pushed him toward this specific untapped market.
Is she trying to destroy me, or secretly point me in a direction? Either way, I can't ignore it.
He took a deep breath and opened a new document. This time, he would write the proposal she'd never expect.
If she wants me to fail, fine. But if this is some twisted test, I'll give her the answer she didn't know she was asking for.
For the next 3 days, Kenta barely left his apartment, building a demographic-specific strategy no one in the company had dared attempt.
I don't know what game she's playing, but I am not the same boy who folded in the courtyard. This time, I'll make her see me.
2 days later, Kenta stood before Misaki again, a razor-sharp proposal in hand. This one wouldn't be ignored.
You focused on middle-aged women. Interesting, but you still don't understand their daily reality. They don't want another youth serum. They need products that acknowledge their responsibilities. Time, care, respect.
She rejected it again. But her words weren't dismissal. They were directions. She's handing me the map.
Later that night, Kenta was the last one left in the office. The vending machine hummed as a colleague from HR stopped by his desk. The colleague leaned in, voice low. "Misaki personally pulled your file. She requested your transfer from the Osaka branch 6 months ago. No one knows why."
She planned this. She brought me here deliberately. But why? To finish what she started in high school.
Kenta stared down the dark hallway toward Misaki's office. A light still on. Something twisted in his chest.
If she wanted me here, then every rejection, every insult, it's all part of a plan. I have to find out what it is.
The next morning, Kenta walked into Misaki's office without knocking. His fists were clenched, his question a weapon.
Why did you request my transfer? What do you want from me?
Isn't it obvious? I wanted to see if the classroom loser could finally grow up. You are still as pathetic as ever.
The words hit like a slap, but something in her eyes didn't match the venom. There it was again, a flicker.
For a split second, her mask slipped. A shadow of something old and brittle crossed her features. A scar hidden under armor.
Get out. If you can't handle the pressure, resign. I don't care either way.
That hesitation in her voice. It wasn't contempt. It was pain. Pain she's carried for a long time.
He stormed out, the door slamming behind him. But the image of her wavering expression lodged itself deep in his mind.
She's hiding something. That flicker wasn't revenge. It was a wound, and I need to know what caused it.
Caught between the sting of her words and the echo of her silent cry, Kenta realized nothing about this job was what it seemed. That night, sleep refused to come. Behind his eyelids, Misaki's brittle vulnerability replayed on a merciless loop.
The girl I confessed to wasn't cruel. She was surrounded by rumors, always isolated, always on guard. I never asked why.
He remembered the hallway whispers, the cruel notes in her locker, the way she ate lunch alone. A fortress built from years of betrayal.
That fortress didn't fall when she became an executive. It got thicker, and now she's forcing me to tear it down or get crushed.
He walked to his desk at 3 a.m., opened the Phoenix files, and stared at the market gap she'd carved out like a wound.
This project isn't just about the market. It's a test to see if I can see behind the mask, if I can handle the truth.
He worked until sunrise, not driven by fear of failure, but by a need to meet her challenge head-on.
I stopped being her victim a long time ago. If she wants a fight, I'll give her one, but I won't be the one who breaks.
The next morning, Kenta walked into the office with a different posture. The project wasn't a punishment anymore. It was his battlefield.
Whatever secret she's hiding, I'll drag it into the light. And I'll do it by winning at the one thing she can't deny.
For the next week, Misaki's rejections came like precise incisions, each one cutting closer to the bone of a real insight.
This still treats women as a monolith. Show me you understand their daily rituals, the sacrifices they make that no product ever acknowledges.
She's not just criticizing, she's teaching. Every refusal is a lesson she won't say out loud.
Kenta worked until his eyes burned, rebuilding the proposal around the invisible lives of the women they'd ignored. One night, heading to the printer, he heard a voice through the conference room glass. Misaki, alone, delivering a flawless presentation to an empty room. He froze in the shadows. She pitched precisely the market strategy he'd been developing, but with a depth he hadn't achieved, using clinical terms and insights.
She's an expert. She knows this market better than anyone in the company. Why is she hiding it behind me?
He watched her smooth gestures, the unguarded passion in her voice. This wasn't the cruel boss. This was a mentor who'd been guiding him from the start.
All those rejections, they were her way of giving me the answer without handing it over. She's making me earn it.
He slipped away before she could see him, but the image stayed. Misaki Shindo wasn't his enemy. She was his secret ally. Later that morning, Kenta found Misaki alone in a glass-walled conference room, reviewing reports. He walked in without hesitation.
I know you've been guiding me. Every rejection, every criticism, it's been a roadmap. I am not asking if you did it. I am asking why.
You are imagining things. I reject proposals that lack substance. If you happen to improve, it's coincidence, or maybe you are finally using your brain.
She turned away, but not before Kenta saw her hand tremble slightly as she gathered her papers, a crack in the armor.
She'll never admit it, but she can't hide the truth from her own body.
He returned to his desk after lunch to find a folded note tucked under his keyboard. No signature, only her unmistakable handwriting. The note read, "Their deepest need isn't recognition. It's reclamation. Give them a way to reclaim their identity, and you'll own the market."
Reclamation. That's the missing link. She gave me the key without ever saying a word.
For the first time in weeks, Kenta smiled, not from victory, but from an unspoken bond forged in fire and ink.
She's with me, and I won't waste this gift. Phoenix will rise from the ashes, and so will we.
Armed with the insight from Misaki's note, Kenta poured every waking hour into a prototype that embodied reclamation.
This isn't just a product, it's a partner. Reclaim guides women back to their lost passions through daily, bite-sized moments.
For the first time, Misaki didn't immediately shred his work. She stared at the tablet, then gave the faintest nod.
It's not garbage.
A collective gasp. Never had Misaki offered even that sliver of approval. Kenta felt the weight of the moment.
Don't celebrate yet. The real work starts now.
Her words were a splash of ice water, but beneath them lay an unspoken promise. She believed he could do it.
That's her way of saying, I am counting on you.
He returned to his desk with renewed fire, the prototype's launch deadline burning in his mind.
I won't let her down, not after everything.
Kenta's phone rang, a name he hadn't seen in a decade, a former classmate from high school. He answered. The voice on the other end was strained, heavy with something long buried. Then the confession. Your love letter was a prank. We told Misaki you were mocking her. Kenta's grip tightened. His own friends had weaponized his sincerity against her. He saw it clearly. A classmate whispering, Kenta thinks you're pathetic. The lie that started everything.
She believed I was part of the cruelty. No wonder she wanted to destroy me.
The call ended, leaving a silence that redefined a decade of resentment.
All these years, she was the victim. I was the instrument of her pain.
He stared at the old class photo, two faces untouched by betrayal, frozen in a lie.
I can't undo the past, but I can make sure the future honors the truth. Phoenix will fly.
Kenta didn't stop at one call. He dialed each old friend, the truth like a scalpel.
You told Misaki my confession was a joke.
The admissions came haltingly. It was a dare. We didn't think it would go that far.
Cowards. Every single one of them.
By the last call, his anger was cold steel.
You let her believe I was the enemy for 10 years. Don't ever contact me again.
He threw the phone onto the desk, chest heaving. The silence afterward was suffocating.
And I never questioned it. I accepted her cruelty as her nature, when it was a shield against my own friends.
So that was the source of her fortress, built brick by brick from a lie he'd been too blind to see.
I can't undo the past with words, but I can show her through what I build that I was never her enemy.
The office corridors had emptied when Kenta finally packed up. A lone figure stood by the window. Misaki, her silhouette wilted. Dark half-moon sat beneath her eyes. Her blazer rumpled. For a second, she looked less like his boss, and more like the girl who ate lunch alone.
Every cell in my body wants to apologize right now, but she'd only see it as pity. So I'll say what she can hear. Misaki-san, the Phoenix Project. I'll make it work. I promise.
She turned. For a heartbeat, the icy mask fractured. A flicker of something raw and unsaid crossed her face.
Then do it. Words are cheap.
But as she walked away, Kenta saw her shoulders slump just slightly, a warrior who'd briefly let her guard down.
I am not doing this for a promotion anymore. I am doing it to honor every invisible battle she's fought.
He returned to his desk and opened the prototype. The code and designs blurred, but his mission had never been sharper.
She shepherded me with thorns. Now, I'll make those thorns bloom into a rose everyone can see.
The days that followed blurred into a fever dream of revisions and breakthroughs.
This version respects their time. It's almost there.
Kenta and Misaki worked side by side, her red pen no longer a weapon, but a fine chisel.
She's finally treating me as an equal, but something in her eyes keeps flickering. Goodbye.
One evening, she called him into her office. A single envelope sat on her desk.
After the Phoenix launch, I am resigning. Effective immediately.
Why? Why now, when we're so close?
The reason doesn't concern you. Just focus on the launch.
She slid the envelope toward him. His name was typed on it, but the contents remained sealed.
This isn't just a resignation. This is her drawing a line, but I won't let her disappear without knowing the truth.
Unable to sleep, Kenta found her on the rooftop late that night, staring at the city lights.
Is this because of me? Did I drive you to resign?
Number. This decision was made long before you arrived.
Then why now? Was Phoenix always meant to be your last gift?
She didn't answer, but her silence was a roar, and for the first time, her ice blue eyes glistened.
She's been shouldering a burden I can't even imagine, and she's handing me the result of that weight.
Just finish the launch. That's all I need from you.
He saw it then. Her resignation wasn't an escape. It was the final deliberate move in a silent chess game for his future.
I won't waste this. Whatever price she's paid, I'll make sure Phoenix rises higher than either of us dreamed.
He accepted her choice, not with words, but with a silent promise, stitched into every line of code he'd write from now on. In the final days before the launch, Kenta worked like a man possessed. Every pixel, every line of code, he refined until it gleamed.
You've been here for 30 hours. Go home.
That's the closest she's come to admitting she's worried.
On the morning of the launch, he found a small note tucked under his keyboard. No signature, only her sharp, elegant handwriting. It read, "Don't mess this up." The words were blunt, but he could almost hear the quiet tremor behind them.
Not good luck, not I believe in you, but I'll take it.
He folded the note carefully and slipped it into his pocket, a quiet promise sealed in paper.
Today, this Phoenix flies, or it crashes, but not because I held back.
The office buzzed with nervous energy. Colleagues glanced at him with cautious hope. For Misaki, for the truth, for the girl who ate lunch alone, he would not fail. At precisely 9 a.m., the Phoenix product went live. In the conference room, every screen flickered to life with real-time data. The first hour was torture. Numbers trickled in, far below projections.
This can't be happening. After all that, did we fail?
Then, a shift. Downloads climbed, reviews poured in, and the curve bent sharply upward. By midday, Phoenix had surpassed the first-month target in a single day. The room erupted. Colleagues swarmed Kenta, slapping his back, shouting congratulations.
But amidst the chaos, one figure was absent. I searched the faces.
He spotted her silhouette slipping through the door, her white blazer disappearing into the corridor.
Number. She doesn't get to just vanish. Not after everything.
He pushed through the crowd, ignoring the cheers, his heart pounding with something stronger than victory. He caught her in the silent stairwell, the echo of his footsteps dying against cold concrete.
Misaki. Wait. After everything, you owe me an explanation.
I don't owe you anything.
I know the truth. My friends told you my confession was a dare, that I was mocking you.
Her body went rigid. The masks she'd worn for a decade cracked, then shattered completely.
How? How did you? I found out 2 years later. I almost died from guilt. I ruined you, and I spent a decade trying to make it right. When I saw your name in the roster, I requested your transfer. I handed you Phoenix because it could make your career if someone believed, and my resignation, that was my price. The only way I could face you again.
All the anger, all the pain, it crumbled into nothing. All that remained was the girl who'd carried this alone.
From inside her blazer, she withdrew a crisp white envelope, the same one from before, now worn at the edges.
Inside is my formal resignation and my recommendation that you succeed me as department head.
You planned all of this, even your own exit, just to give me this chance?
He took the envelope as if it were made of glass, the weight of a decade pressed into his palm.
I've watched you become the leader this company needs. You earned this. I just removed the obstacles.
Her career, her pride, her public image all burned to clear my path. This is the opposite of cruelty. Why? Why go this far for me?
Because I couldn't live with the person I became that day. This was the only repair I knew how to make.
Then I accept your apology fully, but not your resignation. Not until we talk about what comes next.
She looked up, eyes raw. Neither of them knew what the morning would bring, but something new had finally begun. They sat on the cold steps of the stairwell, the harsh fluorescent light softening around them as the tension finally broke.
I forgive you, Misaki. More than that, I thank you. You pushed me to become someone I didn't know I could be. I was a coward, too. I never questioned the past because it hurt too much. We both built walls.
Then, maybe, we've both earned a chance to tear them down.
Stay. Don't resign. Help me run this department. We started something together.
I can't. This is my penance. I need to step away, to finally let the past die, but I'll do it, knowing you are ready. You don't need me anymore. You never really did.
She stood, straightening her blazer, and for the first time, her smile reached her eyes.
You are not the only one who needed to prove something. Thank you for letting me.
She walked away, her footsteps fading into the hum of the building, leaving behind an envelope and a promise that neither would ever be alone again. Weeks later, Kenta sat in Misaki's old office, now his. The city stretched beyond the window, quiet in the morning light. On his desk, beside a fresh coffee, sat the framed high school photo and Misaki's handwritten note.
A reminder of where I started, and the person who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself.
His phone buzzed. A message from an unsaved number. But he knew the sender instantly. A photo of a cherry blossom tree in full bloom. Beneath it, 2 words, still alive.
Alive and blooming, just like us.
He set the phone down, no longer haunted by the past. The cherry blossoms in the photo looked the same as the ones on that fateful day, but now they stood for something new. The world outside was moving, but in that office, 2 people who had once destroyed each other had learned to grow. Kenta stood, straightening his suit. The Phoenix Project had given countless women a new start, and him the same.
Wherever she is, she's free. And so am I.
He stepped out into the evening, the glass doors closing silently behind him. The city breathed around him, a soft blur of lights and distant laughter. Then he saw it, a massive billboard glowing above the intersection. Phoenix, trusted by women everywhere.
She gave me more than a career. She gave me a purpose. I hope she's found her peace, wherever she is.
He walked on, the image of cherry blossoms mingling with the city lights in his mind. The next morning, a single cherry blossom petal rested on the windowsill of his office, fragile and bright. It had carried through wind and time, much like the 2 of them. Kenta arrived at his desk, the photo and notes still in their place.
We were never enemies. We were just 2 people who needed the same thing, to feel worthy of a second chance.